positive. Discontinued country, looking for country. So we're looking for different cases by different countries, right? So with the data like this now, because I'm just looking at the time, so we're just left with 5 minutes. So with the data like this, it's much easier for you to look for every insight that you actually want on the data. So what we can do now is that I'm giving you guys an assessment, an assignment actually rather. I'll send Emmanuel this clean data as it is from this table, and you saw how I actually came out with this data and actually grouped it together. So it was just a small cleaning up of the data and just putting in all the information that we actually need to do the analysis. So what you guys can do now is use this clean data to try to analyze different countries, right? Look for information such as, should the countries be opened based on the figures that we're actually seeing now? Should people within different countries be panicking, right? I mean, looking at the number of cases in proportion to the population of that specific country, right? Is it 1% of the specific country that has been impacted or not? So things like that. And also you need to try and understand, is there any correlation? I'll send it from my email in terms of the questions that I actually want you guys to try and answer based on this data. Is there any correlation between the countries that have been impacted and the Gini index, right? The Gini index, keeping in mind that the Gini index is the distribution of the income within a specific country. Is there correlation in between that, right? Are the poor countries being impacted more? If that's the case, why is that the case, right? And also just to try and understand what is the proportion of the number of reported cases versus the death. So try and understand the correlation in between the cases and the death of the country. And also try and understand, give me a country that have been highly impacted, countries that have been highly impacted by the COVID-19, and also the growth of the COVID-19 by different countries. So I want also the growth, what has been going on, what are the countries that are showing a significant growth when it comes to the COVID-19. I want those countries. Also, I want, okay, this one you don't have to answer that. I'll do it for you guys. The contribution, the countries that are contributing the highest to the growth that you have actually had calculated. I will show you how to actually do that. So this also to pick the countries that are actually acting as outliers. So we'll do that probably on the next tutorial, just to try and get more insight on this data that we've actually cleaned on this tutorial, to try and understand the countries that are actually problematic, the countries that, you know what, they're not even impacted at all based on this data. They could do whatever that they can in terms of restricting the movement within their country. They can save they can choose to save the economy of the country other than just saving people, because the cases are not as severe, right? And also identify the countries that are stabilizing in terms of the reported case on the day-to-day. But this is very important. Understand that this is not cumulative cases, right? Which means that a case that if yesterday we reported 5 cases and today we report 10 cases, it doesn't mean that we have 15 cases, right? So this is not cumulative. It's not like if yesterday we reported 5 cases and today we reported 10 cases, it means that today we only reported 5 cases because of the cumulative from yesterday. This doesn't cumulate at all. These are the cases reported per specific day. So that it's very, very important to understand that it's not cumulative. It's reported cases on a day-to-day basis. So for you to try and understand what has been going on the current state, you will have to add up the previous months or the previous days, depending on how you actually want to analyze the data. But I would actually advise you to analyze this data purely based on the month. But then if there's that month wherein you're seeing that there is a problem, if you want to get into dig deeper into trying to understand what seems to be going on, you would actually want to look at different days of the month. Okay, cool. What are the hotspot days within the month? Depending on also a specific country. As here in South Africa, we get paid between the 25th and the 30th of the month. And also there would be a lot of movements of people running the